the claims and then tell me how much money I have to send to each of the patients each month out of our own bank account. I'm oversimplifying, but that's basically what it is. Do you know who governs the laws regarding that relationship? Not the state, the federal government. Anytime, by the way, guys, that the federal government is involved in governing any kind of laws, assume that the laws are totally unfair, impossible to know, and change on the hour. So make sure you know who is administering the plan, whether the state or the federal government is setting the rules. Make sure you understand your frequency and billing limitations. And lastly, look at the fee schedule. And for me, what I'm looking at is, are the fees within 10% of the other PPO fees? So if the crown for them is $750, is that within roughly 10% of the other crown? The other one's $825, $912. Are they kind of similar? There may be outliers, by the way. One of the procedures may be really well reimbursed, and one of the procedures may be really low on reimbursements. I don't look at one, I look at them all. Got to look at all the codes. I promise you, doctors, you'll smile at me if you've ever signed up for a PPO. I know exactly what you did. Your receptionist came to you with the fee schedule, handed it to you, and said, hey, you know, Cigna wants us to sign up. You open to page 3, scroll down to 2750, look to the right, and look at that fee. You're laughing because it's exactly how you did it. That's fine. But you may have missed something really big, like they never covered that procedure. So make sure you know your contracts. Listen, I belong to probably 25 PPOs. You know how many contracts I've read? 0. None of them. I have an attorney and he reads them for me. He'll charge you $1,000 probably to read 2 or 3 of those contracts. Have a read through them. By the way, they won't read them either. They'll kind of scroll through, make sure that you're not signing away anything. I want to give you a couple of new pitfalls in the PPO industry. Something that they're doing. If you haven't heard Charlie talk about this, I'll tell you about it. What they used to do is they used to say you can get in and out very easily. Write us a letter and you're out, no problem. Now what they say is write us a letter and you're out, no problem. But a lot of them will say, but then you can't get back in. So be careful if you decide that you want to leave them, because they may say you can't come back to them. Now some of them have a time frame. They say 12 months, 36 months, 18 months. Some of them say you have to be re-credentialed, and the credentialing requires XYZ PDQ. But what they're saying to you is, no problem, we'll let you be in. But if you want to get out every time you get scared, we're not going to let you back in so easily. So think about it twice. I'm going to tell you that, well, we talked about this already. I'm going to tell you that in the insurance company and in the insurance business, getting in and out can be challenging. And getting out for some of you right here, and I know that's what you're taught, by the way. There's lots of lectures. Drop the PPO, ditch the insurance. Every coach you're going to hire, by the way, except the $1 million PPO coaching consulting, is going to say you stay away from PPOs. Here's what they're saying, by the way. Don't take the insurance that all the people who are insured have, and those are the people, by the way, that go to the dentist. Don't do that. And if we all band together like Robin Hood, then all the insurance companies will go away. Does that sound like a realistic story, by the way? Yeah, okay, no problem. By the way, almost all of my clients, and I'm the $1 million PPO coaching consulting, are fee-for-service offices. Do you know why they're working with us? Because they can't make a profit as fee-for-service offices anymore. They all are feeling the pressure. They're looking across the street at the guy who's 32 years old, who just built a brand new office, who gets 148 new patients a month. He participates with every PPO, and they can't figure out why, after 32 years of doing dentistry in that community, their new patient numbers are dropping. And by the way, when you tell me your new patient numbers, don't leave out the important one. 40 new patients a month doesn't matter to me if 52 leave. I got 30 new patients last month. 78 patients left the practice, but I got 30 new ones. So you lost 48 patients last month. You're negative 48. We're working with an office right now. I'm going to tell you a true story. South Jersey, this is for me, by the way. New Jersey's long and narrow like a rectangle. If you're anywhere south of me, you're in South Jersey. She's in South Jersey. She works in the town where Johnson & Johnson is headquartered. Anybody ever heard of that company? It's big. There's 20,000 employees on their main campus. She's less than 1 mile from the gates to the campus. Every single employee there, I know this because I've spoken to the HR director, every single single employee is offered MetLife PPO or MetLife DMO and dental. That's what they're offered. There's no traditional plan. They can go out of network on their PPO, but they're all over MetLife PPO. Guess what she doesn't take? MetLife PPO. Guess how many patients she got last month? 4. Guess how many left? 15. But she's not taking PPOs because she's fee for service. Yes? Yeah, the only ones you can track are the ones that you know about. Average is 20% attrition a year. 20% attrition per year. So if you have 3,000 active patients, on average, between 10 and 20 of those % of those patients really aren't patients anymore. Here's how I would tell you what an active patient is, by the way. There's a great way to learn it. Last 14 months, someone who's been in your office for soft tissue therapy. Prophy, perio maintenance, scaling and root planing, some kind of cleaning by your hygienist in the last 14 months is an active patient. So if 22 months ago, the dude down the road came in for an emergency, got a tooth extracted and hasn't been back, he's not an active patient. He's a dude who goes to the dentist when his teeth fall out. Hygiene visits tell me that a patient is coming based on their need for regular dental care. They're coming for hygiene. They're coming for maintenance. They're going without pain or some impetus. That's a regular patient. And I will tell you that if you have 8,000 charts in your office, 6,500 of them are probably patients who came once they got something or are not coming back. So put them in the basement or in like those Rubbermaid tubs that are waterproof. Get them out of there because it's not accurate. Or market to them. You can do that too. I highly recommend trying to reactivate sending letters. You know, that's a great place to start on marketing. But active to me means pull dentrix, run a report and tell me who's had some kind of recare in the last 14 months. They're active. And I will tell you that 10 to 20% of the people that are active in your practice are kind of leaving and coming. They're going to another dentist, they're coming back. That's normal attrition. So if you're losing 20 patients a month in attrition on average and you're getting 50 patients a month, you're really netting 30. When I tell you guys that I'm going to look at your practices if you want to work with our company to evaluate how healthy they are for a solo provider in 2013, I'm going to tell you 50 new patients a month or more tells me you're healthy. 50. That's a big number, guys. If you're a fee-for-service practice, I'll take 10 or 20% off of that and say maybe 30 or 40. I know that you guys think that your patients are there to buy comprehensive, restorative dental care. Who here is a dental patient? I hope you all raise your hand. No, I don't. Why did you go to the dentist? To get a cleaning. Yeah. Did you go to buy comprehensive, restorative care or to get a cleaning? You work at a dental office and you went to get a cleaning. Yeah. That's why your patients are coming. To get a cleaning or to get out of pain or because something broke and they're going away next week and they want to fix it before they leave. Most common reason for a dental emergency in the summer is, I broke a tooth and I'm going on vacation soon and I need help. I just got a call today from a patient of mine who's leaving Monday at noon for a week's vacation and he wants to know if I can meet him tomorrow night at the office to re-cement the ground. Of course I can't, but that's a different story. I think the reason why a lot of doctors avoid PPOs is because they think insurance companies dictate care. They think that if they sign up, the insurance company will tell them what they can and can't do on their patients. And they would be wrong. You dictate care, and your patients' wallets dictate what they buy. Does everyone here have a Rolls Royce? So the auto industry is dictating which cars you buy? What's the best car in the world? What's the safest car in the world? What's the most well-made car? Let's call it a Bentley. Can we agree that Bentley is one of the most well-made cars in the world? So how can we all don't have one? Because you can't afford it. Yeah. What's dictating you're not purchasing a Bentley? Price. Yeah. Insurance companies do not dictate care. Your patient products dictate care. I want to be clear about something also. This is $600. This is an iPhone. The person standing at your front desk telling you they can't afford the crown is holding this while we're telling you that. They're also wearing Uggs. Uggs are $300. They're also getting in a car that's less than 5 years old. They also, on average, have a 50-inch plasma TV in their house. And on average, they go away for 2 weeks in a year. One of them is to Disney World. Has anyone here been to Disney World? I can tell you one thing that Disney World is not. It's not cheap. It's $100 just to get in the damn door, and every one of those Mickey Mouse ear hats is like $1 million. I have 2 little girls, so I know. I can't afford that crown. I had a patient say this to me once. She had an abscess swollen. She was like in her 20s, crying in pain. She needed an extraction. It was $185, and she didn't pay for it. And I wouldn't do it for free, so I threw her out, basically. And she said this to me, and I'll never forget it. It's one of the reasons I've changed how I practice dentistry. As she was crying and leaving my office, this is what she said. You expect me to go to Cancun with a swollen face? Right. No, crown is how much? I can't afford that. Hold on, let me just take this call. Yeah. I watch the guys that work for my landscaper on their iPhones mowing my lawn all day long. I'm like, that dude's got a $700 phone. He's mowing my lawn. He can't afford to get his teeth fixed. He's got an iPhone. I mean, I know if you have the plan, the upgrade is like $100, but when you buy this fresh, you walk into an Apple and you buy the 30 gig iPhone, it's $599. Go to Apple today, by the way. It's packed with people buying it. Nobody is complaining about the price either. They're like, no, I want the big one that I can watch movies on in my car while I'm driving. I dictate care. When I do a treatment plan in my office, I say to the patient what I would say to my wife. This is the problem. This is what's going to happen if you don't fix it, and this is the best way to fix it. And this is the way that I offer you to fix it. And if you can't afford to do it that way, or you choose to do it another way, that's no problem. I respect that. Go somewhere else and have it done. If you want an iPhone, it's $599. They don't negotiate. If you want to pay $300, you can go to Samsung and you can get one that's $300. But iPhones are $599. Non-negotiable. This is the phone we sell. This is the product we believe in. This is what we think is the best. And if you would like to buy this, this is how much it costs. And if you don't want to buy it, no problem. We're not going to lock you in. We're not going to call you names. There's the door. Go somewhere else and buy something else. If tooth number 19 is fractured unification and you come into my practice, here's the other treatment plan. Extraction, graft, membrane, implant, abutment, crown. That's it. I'm not going to say, well, so you can do a flipper or a partial of one tooth, or I can glue in some chewing gum in there, maybe, or I can do a resin bonded bridge, I can do a regular bridge with metal. That's what I would do in my wife's mouth, that's what I'll do in your mouth. If you want something different, no problem. Go somewhere else and have it done. If tooth number 29 and tooth number 31 are heavily restored, both have existing crowns and root canals, and tooth number 30 fractures, maybe I would say, well, a bridge wouldn't be a bad option because these other teeth are already destroyed from dentistry, from dental disease. But if you're 25 years old, you fall down the stairs, you break tooth number 27, I'm going to treat the plan and implant, and I don't care what plan you have. I'm going to leave the room after the treatment plan, and I'm going to let my office manager, receptionist, whoever take over, and I'm going to let you, the patient, make a decision about what you want to buy based on your own personal values. Has nothing to do with me. If you, the patient, want your insurance company to dictate your care, no problem. By the way, who already dictates care in the United States? Who dictates health care in this country? Insurance companies. Already. Some of you already do it. You won't allow it in your office, but I tell you right now, you go to an in-network provider to get your physical, you get a referral from your doc, but, oh, I won't let an insurance company dictate care. That's crazy, but I only go to someone who's in-network. I don't allow it in my office. By the way, I go out of network. My doctor charges me and I pay. I don't allow insurance companies to dictate care. I allow myself to dictate care. And if my patient has a PPO and the value of the dollars to me matters to them, they'll make a decision either not to buy or to buy. It's personal. I don't particularly care. It's not about me. It's about When they buy, it's not about you guys, it's about them. It's not about them. It's about you not being able to afford it or not wanting to afford it. Maybe not wanting to sell your house to buy a car to live in. Or maybe you want to sell your house to buy a car to live in. Only one decision that I think there is. When to get out. It's a number. It's not a decision. It's not emotional. It's a numerical decision. Last 3 years, total collections average times the percentage of your practice that is PPO based times overhead. So if you collect $1 million on average, and 80% of your practice collections come from PPO, that's $800,000. If your overhead is 70%, which is average, that's $560,000. 70% of 800 is $560,000. You need $560,000 in cash in your business checking account. That's when you can drop PPOs. Because you as a business owner have to assume that when you drop them, what's going to happen? Everyone's going to leave. And for them to come back is going to take how long? 14 months, 12 to 14 months. So for 1 year, you need enough money in the bank to support yourself, your team, and your office. That's the number, guys. It's not an emotional decision. Now, if you want to drop one of them, do the same formula, use the percentage for that one PPO. So if you want to drop Blue Cross, and that's 3% of your revenue, you need to have 3% of your revenue times in the bank to make sure you cover the loss. Because I promise you this, they will leave. And your hope as the fee-for-service guy is that they come back because you're awesome, and that's why they're going to come back. And maybe that's the case, with one exception. If they leave you and they come to me, they're not coming back to you. And I take their plan. Because PPO doctors are not mills anymore. They're not shuffle them in and shuffle them out 20-minute filibuster of visits anymore. They're brand new, state-of-the-art, high-tech, high-quality, modern practices like mine. So now, when they leave Mercedes and they go to Hyundai, and they look at that brand new Hyundai Genesis that's $60,000, it looks actually like that, and they get in that car, and they say, well, I can buy this one for 60, or I can buy a 560 SL Mercedes, same engine, same size, same amenities. Anybody know how much a 560 SL Mercedes is? It's 130 grand. Or they could pay 60 and have a Hyundai that has a refrigerator in the back seat. It does, by the way. That's the issue we're facing right now, guys. Is that it used to be they would leave the fee-for-service office and get lesser quality and then come back. And now all of the people that run PPO practices are taking my courses and are working with my coaches, and they're offering just as good a quality. And they're not coming back. So when you leave, be sure that you're okay with a lot of them not coming back and getting good service. 96 of 96 5-star reviews. You don't sacrifice the quality in growing your business. At no point did Hyundai say, you know what we're going to do to grow? Make crappy cars. So we're going to make great cars with great warranties, great quality, great service, and we're going to offer it at a reasonable price because we know if we sell enough of them, it'll offset costs. And guess what happened? For a year, they were the #1 car company in the world. I think Toyota is back. But Hyundai beat them for a while. And they're real close, neck and neck. The U.S. car companies are not in the thick of things. And the German car companies don't even compare. I mean, they're great businesses. They make tons of money. But I'd rather own Hyundai. We have 5 minutes for a break right now. We can take a break. What do you want to do? 2 minutes? We have to take a break in 2 minutes. She's just saying to I can barely see you back there. I need a voice break in 2 minutes. Why $1 million? So we call it the $1 million PPO coaching and consulting. Why do we call it that? Exactly. She just said because it sounds good. Yeah, because it sounds really cool. Because the $850,000 PPO consulting didn't sound really good. It didn't roll off the tongue like $1 million. And notice it's not the $1 million PPO. It's $1 million PPO. Any million in front of the million. But I don't need it to be one. Quite frankly, I'd rather it be 10 than 1. I work with a lot of practices that generate more than $3 or $4 million a year. Those numbers are not outside of your range, by the way. Heartland, like I said, sold for $2 and change billion. Billion! This year. Canadians won. I'm telling you, the Canadians are plotting something against us. There was a movie about that. Remember John Candy's last movie, Canadian Bacon? The reason why it's $1 billion is because as collections increase, you offset overhead costs. Remember we talked about fixed versus variable costs? At $700,000 plus, your variable and fixed costs have the highest impact on your overhead. And so this is impactful for you guys to hear, and it's an easier way for me to explain it to you. On average, I can take a $750,000 practice and turn it into a $1.2 million practice in 12 months without adding chairs or team members. Almost all of the increases are at less than 20% overhead. That's why you want to be north of $1 million. Because north of $1 million allows you the highest level of profitability. It's not about sounding cool. It's about the mathematics of the equation being more favorable north of $1 million than less than $1 million. And by the way, at 1.2, you tend to need a chair or a team member. To go from 1.2 to 1.5, 1.6, that requires either another hygienist or another operatory. But between 750 and $1.2 million, easy to do on the same team. You saw my numbers, by the way, from 2012. I want to tell you that in 2011, I collected $1.278 million, and I did it out of 3 operatories. I added my 4th in 2011 at the end of the year. So in 2012, I did 1.345. It was out of 4 ops. But I was collecting $1.2 million out of 3 operatories with 5 team members. Doable. And I don't work 30 hours a week. I don't work split shifts, 62 hours. Monday through Thursday, I work 12 to 7, Monday and Wednesday, 7:30 to 3:30 on Tuesday, and 7 to 1 on Thursday. That's it. I don't ever work on Friday. I don't ever work on Saturday. I always love work on Sunday. Unless you're Orthodox Jewish, in which case you're not allowed to work on Saturday, but you have to work on Sunday. What's the least profitable day to work in any kind of office? No, Monday is the in your area. Now, they vary. I have one practice in downtown Detroit. Saturdays is the most profitable day because it's a factory town, and the people in the factories can't clock out to go to the dentist. But on average, Monday is the most profitable day, and Saturday is the most costly day. Friday is a close second to Saturday, unless you're an oral surgeon or you do oral surgery. Because people want to do their oral surgery Friday morning and take the weekend off. But if you're a GP doing crowns, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, busiest days. By show of hands here, who wants personally to get a root canal at 3 o'clock on Friday before the weekend? No one. Just by a show of hands, if you could go out on your friend's boat sailing on Saturday morning at 9 a.m., or go to the dentist and have a filling Saturday morning at 9 a.m., who chooses the filling? Right. So Friday, when you get the call from your buddy to invite you on the boat, and you have a dental appointment Saturday morning, do you care about canceling your dental appointment? No. That's why Saturdays are worthless in a dental office. Immediately, I would tell you to take nothing away except not liking me. Cancel Saturdays. You lose money on them. No? Don't cancel them? Because your patients will get mad, right?
No, it's very busy and I rarely.
Yeah, the area you're in, great. That's so I would evaluate the profitability. Just make sure that you know in your office that you're covering your costs on Saturday, that your cancellation rate isn't too high. And if it's not, if you're in a community where they value it, great. Average communities don't. Evenings, by the way, would offset your Saturdays. If you work 2 evenings a week, you can cancel Saturdays. How many of your team members, by the way, would like to work Saturdays versus not like to work Saturdays? Who wants to work on Saturday? No one, just checking. Yeah. So you can offset your Saturdays by creating a more flexible schedule. We'll talk about that. No, you can't. You're definitely not coachable. Okay, guys, take a break.